What's happening, fandoms? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we react to music videos and shows. Today, we're going back to The Expanse. We're in Season 1. This is Episode 3, titled Remember the Cant. The Cant, of course, being the name of the ice mining ship that our crew was originally from. That ship having been completely destroyed by what appears to be the Martian Space Navy. They were set adrift in their shuttle called the Knight, I believe. And lots of hijinks. The radio is not working. They're running out of air. They're trying to generate a distress signal, and finally they do, only to be responded to by none other than a flagship of the Martian Navy, the Doniger. So we are now in a situation where Holden sent out a message to whoever could hear it, we don't know who did, accusing Mars of instigating this whole situation and blowing up their ship, which is basically an act of war against the Belters and Ceres as a station, because that ice was meant for Ceres to supply water for its citizenry. So this is a big deal. That was possibly responsible for the deaths of many thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. I don't know exactly how big Ceres station is supposed to be, but that is definitely a hostile act, and at the very least responsible for the deaths of the probably hundreds that worked and lived aboard the Canterbury. So very interesting stuff. We'll have to see what's happened now that the shuttle has been captured by the Doniger, and what's going to happen as a result of this message that Holden sent out. So, all right, let's go ahead. Well, first off, let's get this out of the way again. This is not exactly a blind reaction. If you have sharp eyes, you can see that on the bookshelf behind me here, I have the entire series of books by James S.A. Corey. I have read those. So depending on how faithful the show is to the events in the books, I do know the major beats that are coming, but I'm very much enjoying how they're being portrayed by the actors and the story runners of this particular series. So without any further ado, let's dive into it and see what happens. Okay.
My name is James Holden, speaking for the 5 survivors of the
Okay.
Our ship was destroyed answering a bogus SOS from a ship called the Skyfly.
Okay. The message is received.
It was a trap.
We're about to be taken aboard Cant.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad for the morale of the citizens of Ceres.
Unse colting gut.
No, stay calm. Unte colting gonya gut.
Okay.
Topo triake.
Yep. He's here for language lessons.
Unse colting gonya gut to pochuyeke.
Better. Every time better.
I'm a good teacher.
Maybe you too.
A little bit more of a relationship than you would expect between these two. Maybe. The scapula, he now knows.
Go.
Just file the report. Close the case. Enjoy your tax-free bonus.
He can't let it go. I forget what MCRN is. Mars something Royal Navy. Maybe Mars Corporation? Probably Corporation.
Keep your mouth shut and move.
They don't know how far that message spread, though. They can't know. They're just hoping.
If we're prisoners, we have the right to legal counsel.
Hey! Where are you taking him?
Yep. Whatever they were looking for on their necks has beeped. So I don't know what exactly that was. We're likely to find out this episode. I think he was originally
They're
from
trying to
Mars.
destabilize Sirius. That idiot governor of
Military.
ours is weak. Belters get thirsty. OPA fans the flames.
Fleet Command will not support redeployment unless we have proof. I seriously doubt the Secretary General will want to.
Don't know how you're going to
override us
get
on this.
proof.
The Admiral's right. Until we know more, we sit tight and wait.
My embassy needs me back on Mars. He's a Mars
50
ambassador.
bucks says I can beat you to the end of the concourse.
Bubbles.
Frank,
I always just let you win.
Bubbles.
You need $50?
I need a drink, is what I need.
Have two. It's past noon.
This guy again.
Get out of here.
All right, you're done here. We have a comedy night at the Laugh Shack once a week, and
Mormons.
I'd love to prove you wrong. Can I put your name on the list tonight?
I can't do it tonight, but I'd really like to check it out. How about next week?
It would be my pleasure.
Keep trying.
Will do, brother.
Okay.
Oh, you're not gonna do anything about that?
See, I'm looking forward to it. Come on, let's go.
Well,
Captain
let's see. Can't be any of the
Shadi-
dead scumbags or missing gangsters piling up on your desk because nobody gives a shit about them, least of all you. The cute girl kidnapped side job.
They've got some kind of history.
Broadcast must have gotten out. They gotta tread carefully.
You're gonna try to frame us?
Separate them, make them talk. Try and figure out everything about it. Good cop, bad cop, maybe.
How long have you known that Naomi Nagata was an OPA operative?
Ooh.
What? 2 advanced degrees in fusion drive design. You never wondered why someone of such obvious intelligence was wasting her life sealing cracks and fixing gauges on
That drug was that thing that he took must have been some sort of a super perception drug to make him able to catch micro expressions or something. What's the play here?
The bird. If died to give you feta for your chapeau.
Got no coping here, cop.
I'm looking for Anderson Dawes.
Anderson
He might be my
Dawes.
friend. Kind of runs things around here, right? You might know about that.
I don't suss or nothing.
I don't suss at that OPA tat on your forearm there either.
This wine came from that vineyard? Mm-hmm. Oh, please don't tell me I'm drinking your pee, because it's delicious.
Okay.
No, they're working on the foundation, so they haven't spliced our plumbing into the vineyard's hydroponics yet.
He wasn't.
We deploy our fleet to show strength, and that will make a bad situation worse.
The Martians wouldn't do that.
I think you love them too much.
Interesting. He keeps referring to Martians in the third person, so I think he's an Earther.
I dated a Martian once. It helps to
He doesn't need ball cream shit, because he's got no balls. The Martian Navy took that away from him when he joined up.
Wow.
Those 10 suits are...
Rile him up.
You want me to put you down again? Come on in. Try.
Ooh, Amos is not gonna be happy about that.
It's good to see you, I think.
Is that a Martian uniform he is wearing?
Very well treated.
Yeah, well,
I flew with the Mars Navy for 20 years before I shipped off on the Cant. Who stands to gain if Earth and Mars get into a throwdown?
OPA.
How well do any of us really know Naomi?
Well, they're certainly working.
whole man gotta die sometime.
It's about now.
Give the Martians the water!
This must be
We are
Anderson.
not animals.
You have every right to be angry.
Him for him alone, the team. Treat them the way they should treat us.
Okay. I'm liking this guy's philosophy.
I'm Anderson Dawes.
There we go.
You wanted to talk?
This isn't your beat. What you want?
Oh, Juliet, Andromeda Mount.
Uh-huh. He's just not letting it go.
Parents want her found.
An Earth Corp may pay your salary, but you were born here.
He's got an
Lived your
interesting
whole
accent.
life on series. I think that under that ridiculous hat, there's a belter yearning to find his way home. What do you care? Huh? You didn't know her.
He knows her now, I think, is the thing.
Nah, but you did.
I'll ask around for you. Ceres will need men like you in the days to come.
What the hell are they drinking? That didn't look clear at all. Ugh. Here's this thing again. Perception.
James Holden.
What about him?
He has no love for Earth.
He's from Earth.
He hasn't been back in over 12 years.
Well, maybe it's his family.
The Brute? Unlikely. The pilot? No?
You can tell just by looking at her face, huh?
The so-called medic? No.
Idiot.
Was it you? Was it you? Hands where I can see them.
The hell is this? You join up?
Wait, what? That's an option?
What did you guys tell
up, Shed.
To suck it.
Everything. I told them everything. Anything they wanted to know, I told them. I think I made some stuff up at the end. I can't remember. I just kept talking.
They told me that you faked your medical records and signed on to the Cant to get away from a drug dealer who wanted you dead.
Well, that's true.
Shit. You're such a dipshit.
You okay?
You? Sleeper agents. You ever heard of them?
Well, screw you!
Uh-oh.
Shield, you ever heard of those?
Here we go again.
Call the guards. He'll take the first few bullets.
Hey! Enough! Hey! I'm ready to talk, but only to your captain.
Amos is a wild card. He's like Jane from Firefly.
Captain will speak to you
Kinda.
now.
Except less funny and more brutal.
They were calling to see if anything was missing. And since they had to ask, it means that they didn't give it to anyone.
Yep, she's
Which
tricky.
means that Mars
I
isn't
love
working
it.
with the OPA, or trying to take control of Ceres.
That the Canterbury was destroyed through the actions of Naomi Nagata, an operative of an OPA sleeper cell. Are you willing to make that statement?
No, he's not gonna do that.
That can't be true. Even if Naomi is OPA, without her, I'd be dead.
She saved her own life, too. What do you think now?
I don't think.
Scapula's movements after leaving Ceres.
Oh wow, love this. Full 3D display. He's super fixated on this.
Show me incidents reports for the docs. Juliet, Andromeda Mao. Yeah.
Hey, Miller, you need to get your ass back down to Medina now. We got problems.
to take it, go.
Be all right.
Mars stole our air!
So they're riding at the Mars.
Attention, please. This is a Star Helix security directive.
Oh no. Mob mentality. That guy's about to be dead. Okay. Cut away so we don't have to see any more of that violence, huh? Yeah, that's rough.
At least you had the respect to stab me in the chest. My diplomatic credentials have been revoked. I've been banned from Mars for life.
Oh man, poor guy.
Apparently, I'm an alarmist who caused the MCRN to expose classified stealth technology hubs. I won't play with you. Ever again.
Oh, poor Christian. He's right, though. She used him to get the information she needed. Uh-oh. What is this?
Stay calm, okay? Take all thing when you get. Come on, guys, it's over. It's just beginning.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Remember the Cant.
Oh shit. Okay, wow. Yeah, I forgot that we lost the partner. This is the type of story where we're going to lose many people. We're talking about politics on a solar system level with many players and lots of casualties and innocents in the way. It's very interesting. The story, as read in the books, made it very difficult to understand who was actually responsible for these things, and they've done a very good job here of keeping us pointed in one direction until we find that we should be pointed in a different direction, but we don't really know anything about what that means. We just know, oh well, it's probably not Mars. What does that mean? So it's somebody else, and so we've learned that we don't know anything, and that was exactly how it played out in the books. So I'm very happy that we are staying very true to the storyline, at least as I remember it. It's a brilliant story. One of the reasons that I chose to read the books in the first place is that I want to say it was George R.R. Martin, the writer of the Game of Thrones series, saying that it was the best, something along the lines of it's the best space drama that he'd ever read. That's not an exact quote. I'm just remembering that he gave it very, very high praise. And so I really enjoyed that series of books. The show was okay, but the books were phenomenal. And so his praise was a very high, very, very good reason for me to choose to read the series. And I agree. It is a phenomenal story. Political intrigue and high true science, true science fiction, meaning that they hold true to the science that we know and just extrapolate from there. And these events seem big, like these are big events, but they're really just the markers of something bigger to come. And the way this story turns and twists and things change constantly, it's amazing. I cannot wait to see the next episode for what I suspect is coming. We've barely scratched the surface of these mysteries, and they're so delicious and so complex. I'm actually glad that it's been a few years since I read the books, because a lot of these things are coming to me as a little bit of a surprise. So something will happen, and then I will say, oh yeah, that does happen here, right? And so it gives me a little bit of a fog of war. So I'm not predicting exactly what's happening before it does, but I get to understand the meaning of it right when it does. So it's definitely nice to have a little bit of a fog of memory to allow me to enjoy the series. And I am very much enjoying the series. I didn't remember that the pilot, Alex, was an ex-Mars military pilot until that thing beeped. And I knew what that meant right away, but I didn't remember prior to that that was a part of his history. So it was, it's delicious to discover these things again like that. The storyline is progressing, and it's so very, very good. And I'm very much enjoying the actors that they've put in place here. They're very good. I compared Amos to Jane from Firefly, and I think that's not a completely fair comparison. Jane is in Firefly, Jane is muscle but also comic relief. In this, Amos is not comic relief. He is not funny. He is, well, at least up until now, he's just deadly and dangerous, and seems like they're portraying him as a barely contained psychopath that for whatever reason he has someone to take direction from, and I don't remember what that reason is, and that's great, and I'm happy that I don't. But he listens to Naomi, and without Naomi, he would be an uncontrolled weapon, or I don't know, an out of control vehicle with no one at the driver's seat, just wrecking house. So yeah, he's not really comic relief in any way. Jed, who I believe we're not going to keep around for too long. For some reason, I just feel like we're going to lose him pretty soon. He seems to be comic relief. He's definitely a bit of a joke. He's playing the idiot, and I think we lose him pretty soon. But when that happens, we'll know. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching along. Let me know what you think about the Amos Jane comparison if you're familiar with Firefly, and try not to spoil any future events for people who haven't seen or are keeping a pace. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.